Hi guys, I am Markus Schulz,
Ferry Corsten here.
and together we are the New World Punks, and you are watching
Toasted TV.
Hey, you resurrected Goriella last year. You played some tours actually. You opened in Australia, which is of course very aptly named to open.
Yeah, Goriella was, I guess, was a product of a personal tiredness of what's going on in the scene. You know, I mean,
Did you expect it to be that big actually?
No, well, I was expecting some reaction. You know, like because ever since I did the last one like 13 years ago. Ever since people have been saying like, is Goriella ever gonna come back? And I always say like, never say never.
Yeah.
But so I was definitely expecting some reaction, but the way it just the overwhelming response, and I mean, I did it because I got really tired of what was going on, even in trance. You know, like it's the same old. But what I'm really missing is the epic big melodies, like hair-raising moments that you found around the turn of the century type of trance, and that's why I wanted to bring Goriella back. But at the same time, you know, Goriella, because of that expectation, had almost grown into some sort of like holy grail. You know, like how can you live up to that expectation? I didn't want to just make a trance track and call it Goriella. It needed to be that exact track, that have that exact sound. And then when I stumbled across the melody of Anahera, it had that, you know, and that's where I felt like, okay, this is the right moment. Also, I feel like I sense that the trance crowd really is longing for that.
They needed it too.
They needed it. That type of sound, and so I did it, and you know, amazing response. And you know, within weeks after the release, I got the first requests in. You know, you want to do a live show as well, and I didn't want to do it because Goriella, for me, was only like a once a year release. You know, as perfect as I can bring it, and I always feel like if you bring something perfect, the more you touch it, the bigger the chance you ruin it, right? So me doing a live show, I don't know, me doing remixes, it's like I'm gonna ruin the name. I don't want to do it. Just do one release a year. But then the response on and the demand on like, oh come on, you know, the festivals, we can do this and this and this.
So now where are you taking it?
It's an hour show right now that I have. I've done the first three. I started in Australia because Goriella means heaven in Aboriginal language.
Anahera is Maori. Do you have a link to Australia and New Zealand, or you just love it? Or?
No, I just you know, I think Goriella is just how I've always seen is like, especially today, it's like the complete opposite side of the spectrum, where there's EDM, put your fucking hands up, 1, 2, 3, jump. You know, that's one. And then you got the other side, and that's Goriella, where you have the questions about where do we come from, why do we exist, you know, what is like technology, like it's very scientific and just like deeper thoughts and stuff.
You know, and for me, Goriella, it's an art show. It's not just musically, it's also the entire visual experience, the lighting, everything about it. It's artistic in a way that we haven't seen in a long time, and I think that's what makes it so special. You know, it's a true work of art.
Yeah, so that's great, man. And see, I'm
joking, but
I back him up. He backs me up, man.
It's true.
Anyway, no, we just did 3 shows, you know, two Goriella shows in Australia, and then one at Beyond Wonderland in California, and I think we have like 15 shows sort of like planned out throughout the year. And
you're going to New York, you're going to Balaton, you're going to the UK.
UK. We do Czech Republic at Transmission.
Do you guys actually still like touring? Because I mean, you probably heard Fede, who said, Fede Legrand said, well, you know, I'm really so fucking fed up with the touring and the flying, and I'm not going to do this until I'm 50.
No, I love this, and you know what? It takes a real. Yeah, I absolutely love it. This is.
You didn't walk like the red road, the dusty road to get here.
You know, it's you know what? This is it's a commitment to a life style commitment. You know, you have to commit yourself to this, and it's a lot of sacrifices. You know, your friends, your family. While you're on the road, you know, many friends of yours they you know fall out and everything. But so you have to love it. You absolutely have to love it. And you know what? That's the sad thing. Many people I've talked to at these festivals, they've all said the same thing. I'm only going to do this at 4 years, and I'm out. I hate this the touring stuff, and I just shake my head because it's like, you know, this is what we do. This is you know, this is my life. This is what I was meant to do, and to be able to travel all over the world, meet so many amazing people, see so many amazing places. I mean, this is a dream come true. I mean, I never would have imagined this growing up. So
I read that you actually started out washing cars to get some money to buy your first synth. Is that true?
That's very true, yeah. I was like, I don't know, how old was I? 14, 15?
So how many cars did it take?
Fucking a lot of cars. I mean, come on. Today it's almost so much easier, you know, like a few $100 for a bunch of plugins. But then it was like thousands of guilders at the time, you know, for a synthesizer, drum computer, whatever. So yeah, it was a lot of that, newspaper jobs, you know, like. But then when I had my first record, you know, and the money I made of that, I invested back into the studio, and so it grew.
Could you ever imagine back then, and same goes for you when you were young and starting off, that you're still doing this and that the scene grew this much, and basically it took over music, I think?
I never thought of it this way. I mean, I never really wanted to be a DJ, to be honest. You know, when I was going out in Rotterdam always. That's where I'm from. There was a very famous club, Parkzicht and Nighttown, two opposites, Gabber and House. I was in Nighttown, sometimes Parkzicht just for fun. But I was in Nighttown looking at, you know, the DJ up there in his little booth and thinking like, damn, that's your Saturday night. I'm partying, man. Yeah. You know, and that's work.
Exactly.
But then it changed. I had my first gigs, you know, after some music success in the UK. And I was like, I get it. I love this work. So I mean, it became an instant passion. And but did I see it? Could I ever imagine that it would go here? And you know, no. This is beyond belief. Yeah.
Yeah, same with me. I'd never imagined anything like this. I remember, you know, the first time I walked into a club, I remember the same thing, looking up at the DJ, but I was thinking to myself like, wow, how's he do that? And my imagination took over. I was actually imagining him doing more than he was actually doing, you know. So for me, I always went back and I tried to recreate what in my mind I thought he was doing, you know, it just kind of grew from there. But I always had these high standards that I never thought that I could ever achieve, because it was my imagination imagining what these DJs were doing, you know. But to see where everything is now, and to know that anything that you imagine now you can actually do because of the technology, just makes it absolutely amazing time, you know, to be able to just think of something, get in the studio, actually do it, and have so much passion, and so have this music be so big. It really just means that your imagination is your only border.
Did you guys ever see this small video on YouTube where there's an interview being done back in the 60s with Jim Morrison from The Doors, and this guy asks him, what do you think is the future of music? And he's this stoner guy, he has this big beard, and he scratches his beard and he goes like, well, you know what, I envision the future of music this. There's probably going to be one guy or girl with a machine, pushing buttons, making music, entertaining lots of people.
He's so right.
Yeah, he was on. I mean, yeah. It's so true, so
visionary, true. Right there. Yeah.
And everybody laughed, of course, because it was impossible to see, because everyone was playing in a band.
Stoned, you know, that this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, yeah, there you go.
So where will this go? I mean, will robots take over?
I don't know, man. It's, I think we'll be robots in about 100 years from now. You know, there's no human flesh anymore. It's all gonna be 3D printers making our organs and stuff like that. Yeah. So
I want my Ferry copy.
I just think the future is how creative our imagination can be. That's the only, like we said, that's the only limitation. So if you can imagine it, that is what the future is going to be.
Okay, one last question. What does the 303 taste like?
The what? The 303?
The 303, yeah. So you have a can of liquid 303.
Liquid 303. Oh,
Facebook.
Yeah, so yeah, of course, yeah. I don't know, man. It's gonna be really like it's a very acidic taste, very bubbly as well, and it probably sends you off into space.
Tastes like Red Bull.
Hey guys, thanks so much for your time.
All right, man. You too. Thanks a lot.